All right, guys. So the Superhawk's torn down again. Trying to diagnose that top end issue where it really just had no power above 7,000 RPMs. I posted on the Facebook group and did some readings on forums, and apparently if the bike is timed by that, I mean cam timing, 180 degrees out, it can cause that issue. And since I knew the previous owner had the heads off the bike, I decided to just go ahead and check the cam timing. And much to my surprise, what I found is that the front cylinder is timed 180 degrees out.
All right, so while editing this video, I realized it's really hard to see on the bike exactly what I mean when I say that the cams are timed 180 degrees out. So I made this quick little diagram here, shows our exhaust cam, our intake cam, and then the timing chain that connects the two. When I took my valve cover off, this is the orientation that I saw my cam gears after following the service manual for cam timing. The proper orientation for these is outboard like this. So when I open mine and I say that the cams are timed 180 degrees out, that's because these timing marks should be moved 180 degrees to out here. So what I'm going to need to do is loosen the timing chain so that I can move these cam gears independently of the timing chain and spin them so that these marks are both outboard just like this. And that would be the proper orientation for these cam gears. Alright, back to the video.
Properly timed. While I'm in here, I'll check the valve clearances, make sure they're good. And I mean, since it's all apart, I'm just gonna check to make sure the manual cam chain tensioners are set properly.
2 hours later.
All right, so it wasn't very easy to do, and it was even harder to film, so I don't think I'm gonna include that footage, but I did get the front cams retimed. It's probably really hard to see the marks down there, but I got them lining up really good, and I redid the cam chain tensioners and then Loctited the lock nuts so that they won't go anywhere. And yeah, just time to put it all back together and see if that top end is improved.
3 weeks later.
All right, guys, I got the bike running again after the cams were retimed, and you'd be shocked, it runs so much better. I know, something about having the cams in time makes the bike run better. So in the previous episode, I did sync the carbs, but I didn't really show the setup too well, and I've decided that with the way the bike was running before and the way it's running now, I'm just gonna go ahead and resync them again, and I want to show you guys the setup. So the tank ends up getting flipped backwards here so I can hook the petcock connections up to the bike. And then I'm using a Sync Pro and my lovely 919 as a beautiful stand holding the Sync Pro over here. I have a vacuum port hooked to the front cylinder, kind of runs down in there. And then I just tee into the vacuum petcock here that goes to the tank. And then the adjustment screw is right here. It'll probably be very difficult to show on camera doing it live. I'll try, but we'll see what happens. So anyway, I'm gonna start the bike. It's already warmed up. And then I'm going to adjust the adjustment screw until the 2 levels in the Sync Pro are equal. And then we'll have some nice synced carbs. I do have the bike set to a slightly high idle, just because it helps give a more consistent vacuum reading.
Many months later.
All right, so we're out on the VTR after doing the cams,
And I gotta say, it feels way better. It sounds way different too. It's much smoother. Seems to get a little bit better fuel economy. I'll admit I did a couple other things off camera. It's been a little while. It's just a nice warm day in December here in Ohio, so I decided to take the bike out and finally film the outro to this. But I did the spark plugs too, replaced them with Honda Iridium plugs. It ended up needing a chain after doing a short ride on it, and I did the front brakes as well. But when I get a clear section of road here, I'm going to do another second gear pull like before, and hopefully we can see how much better it does. Alright, see how she does. Alright, that's all the way to fuel cut. It pulls really hard. Like I said, I know you guys can't really feel it, the difference on the bike, but it is crazy. What I'll try to do is I'll try to pull the old video and this video, I'll line them up side by side, and hopefully that shows a good comparison. Well, there you guys have it. With that, I think I'm going to end the build series on the VTR. A couple more little things I want to do to it, but you know, nothing too crazy. Don't worry, it's not the last you'll see of this bike. I will be using it in the spring Ohio Reliability Rally, where I will be praying that it doesn't overheat, and competing in all the fun challenges. So what I want to do to end this video off here is just like a 1 through 4. You can listen to the glorious sound of this V-twin. Alright, that should be enough space. Alright, let's let it rip.